Hey Reddit. Serious Redditors that have had a threesome and regretted it. What was the unexpected fallout? Like and subscribe to support the channel. And share your regret in the comments below. I don't know if I regretted it per se. But I was the third wheel. After the sexcapade we passed out, and later on that night her boyfriend went to the bathroom. She then cuddled up to me and said, "That was really fun and all, but if we do this again, can we get somebody I am attracted to?" Then her boyfriend walked back in and she realized that I wasn't him. I could literally feel the room fill up with awkwardness. Lol. Relishing in my anguish, thanks for the shiny things. Or shiz. This is some quality cringe right here. But on the other hand, it seems the BF is the one who insisted on you. Because he didn't feel threatened. Yeah, I mean, obviously threesomes with them again are out of the question. But it sounds like you have a shot at the boyfriend if they ever break up. Maybe even if they don't. Jesus fucking Christ man, the sheer brutality. I was asked by my girlfriend to have a threesome with her and her best friend. A friend I had known for a long time and who had actually introduced us. A couple of minutes into it I realized that my girlfriend was not remotely interested and had pulled back. Which made it awkward because I was not remotely interested in my friend sexually. I only agreed to it because my girlfriend asked and she had been a little distant lately. I thought it might help rekindle the relationship. I carried on and did my best to make my friend happy. And then all of a sudden my girlfriend stood up and said, "Looks like you two are good. I will leave you to it." I stopped what I was doing and asked WTF was going on. And eventually they explained that the whole thing was a scheme for my girlfriend to break up with me and pass me over to her best friend who apparently had a crush on me. Needless to say, this did not go down well. And I ended up losing both of them from my life. This is fucking wild. They devised this plan and thought, it'll certainly work. It's the only way. This is some risque Seinfeld Costanza level scheming though. Ridiculous. ... Thank God. Honestly, I really think this is the most honest story I have read on here, not to say none of the others are honest. But rather yours seems like you are actually and genuinely upset by this whole thing. I am sorry you lost two good friends. The guy was built like a brick shiz house, so I spent most of the experience trying to suck my gut in. Praying for it to be over. I don't understand. Why do you need to suck your gut in for big guys? Wanted to not crappy compared to the other dude. I've read all the children comments and I still have no idea what this means. Other guy was muscular. Poster felt unattractive by comparison, which ruined the threesome for him. I had really strong feeling for this guy. And we had been flirting for a while. It was going well. And one night I was over at his house with another female friend of ours. We got drunk. One thing led to another. And we had a threesome. Now they are dating and I'm still alone. Word of caution, you will be the first he seeks when they fight or break up. Be wary. Wary. But only if you need to sleep. Otherwise be wary. IF had a threesome with my BF at the time, now my ex, and a mutual female friend of ours. He ended up cheating on me multiple times with her afterward. And then ended up becoming obsessed with her. Almost to the point of stalking. He even stole a friend's car to go see her. It was wild. Lol. My ex-husband is marrying her, not your her. But the same exact scenario. Why do people even have threesomes? I see nothing but bad outcomes. All due to sex. I can always feel the pain behind every "it was wild." Lol. Well, I semi-regretted it. Like it was fun. But maybe I would have liked a better third. Anyway, freshman year of college I was into this guy and he had slept with this other girl in our friend group but was also into me. Valentine's Day we're all single. We go at it. And we have a great time. Later I end up dating the dude and like 2 or 3 years into the relationship he cheats on me with some girl. The girl ripped my bra off and I was really mad about it since it was a $70 bra that unclicks from the front and I really liked it. Tried to brush it off but couldn't focus on anything else. Then we start having fun and her dude makes out with me and she breaks down and stops everything. Starts crying and runs out the room. Her guy followed her. I was just like, frick this shiz. Got dressed and left by the other door. Note to all couples wanting to have threesomes, you don't have to have a threesome, sometimes it just needs to remain a fantasy or you need to be with the right person. I feel for you. Bras are expensive. What makes this even worse is that, as a woman, the girl knew bras weren't cheap. I don't think ripping your bra off was an accident. Because what kind of woman just rips another woman's bra off? I'm not a woman. But this was my first thought. The reason being is my wife recently showed me how much those like fuckers cost. For a halfway decent one at that. And I couldn't believe how expensive they were. I would assume getting a bra ripped off would be understood as a big no-no for women. Didn't realize the other guy was into me. Got an unwelcome surprise. This is why it's really important when you do anything kink related. Even if it's supposed to just be a vanilla threesome. To negotiate rules beforehand. What's okay? What is definitely not okay? That way nobody gets unpleasant surprises. Even when you think it's obvious. Like, no, you may not penetrate my anus without asking. Some people may assume that it's okay. This is my time to shine. When I was 19, I was invited by a couple to participate in a threesome. They were both super hot, so I was pumped. So it starts and everything is going fine. We're all touching each other, whatever. We get into a position where I'm sitting on her face while she lays on her back and her boyfriend fucks her missionary. All good until the boyfriend kinda shoved me off her. I was like, WTF. Then she gets up and her face is absolutely covered in blood. Like lion after eating a zebra blood. It's literally everywhere, the sheets, the pillows, her face, his hands. You get the point. Turns out she sliced the inside of my vagina with her very sharp acrylic nails. They looked very nice, just don't feel the best against my fragile vaginal membrane, and I was bleeding profusely. I cleaned myself off and was like, I'm gonna go, and they were like, bye. It's still one of my absolute favorite stories ever. I thought you were gonna be like, oops, I had my period, but that shit's whack. Did the girl apologize? Cause like it sounds like that was 100% not your fault and an unfortunate ending. I mean, even if they were totally friendly about it. You don't just restart the threesome after cleaning up the mess. I cringed when you said you were bleeding, then cringed harder when you said it was cause of her acrylics. I would die persevering face. Killed a relationship with jealousy. My girlfriend invited a female friend over as a birthday present. And we all had a fun time. Note, it was not my idea. I didn't push for it or ask for it. I only said yes when she sprung it on me the day it occurred. Because while I'm not weak-willed, there is a threshold for temptation and the situation met it. Afterwards, my girlfriend was jealous of me spending time with any female friends. Hers or mine. This included my butch lesbian friend who I have zero romantic or sexual chemistry with. It got to the point where my girlfriend was throwing a shiz fit if I went to see a fucking movie with a group of friends that had any single women in it. Finally she told me that I had to cut out any non-related women in my life. Obviously I said frick no. And we broke up. I always wonder what the ratio is for threesomes leading to a breakup. I've never heard any good stories about threesomes in a relationship. But maybe people just share the bad ones. I had a good experience. The girls were pretty close friends. And the only jealousy issue that came up happened when our +1 got herself a new boyfriend and he got jealous of the fact we'd had a threesome. They broke up when he demanded one with her and my girlfriend. Because he got a turn with both of you. So I should too. Needless to say, this line of logic impressed absolutely nobody involved. 1/3 or 2/3 is my guess. If there's no clear boundaries and communication beforehand, most relationships end not long after that. Just like having a baby. Don't use a threesome to try to fix a relationship. Removed. I mean, I guess it wasn't necessarily unexpected. But it just ruined my relationship with my girlfriend at the time. We had a threesome with a female friend of hers. And she couldn't get the image of me having sex with her friend out of her head. She said that she couldn't shake the feeling that if I truly loved her, I wouldn't have been able to sleep with someone else. Worst part of it was my GF was essentially my dream girl. And the girl we added to the mix wasn't nearly as spectacular as she was. So I traded a long-term relationship with my dream girl for one night of a threesome. And I would never have made that trade with hindsight. That said, waking up in the morning with a hot naked girl on each side of me was pretty incredible. I wonder how many dream girls go into a threesome knowing it will be the death of their relationship. Probably more than realize they're somebody's dream girl in the first place. That's why I'll never personally partake in one with my boyfriend. I love him endlessly and we get along really well together. I'm sure you could convince me into it, but I just worry that afterwards it'll never be the same. I'm fine with just not knowing the outcome. 2 kids born 4 days apart. I'll leave it at that. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. That never happens in the pornograph. Please tell us more about how this is working out. Do you co-parent? Co-co-parent? Does everyone get along? Do the kids know? Please tell us more. Top shelf sperm you got there though. So, congrats. I guy the first knew knocked up his wife, his wife's sister, his wife's mother, and his ex-girlfriend in a 2-week period. My first threesome ever, the dude didn't know what foreplay was. His wife was too shy to touch me in any way. And when the dude was fucking me he dislocated his shoulder. Never again with them. I left unsatisfied and upset I'd wasted the gas to get there. I'm so sorry. That sounds like a miserable situation. But I about died laughing at the mental image of this. As a guy battling a fricked up shoulder I about died at the mental image of this. Actually don't need the mental image, the real as frick embarrassment is painful enough. What position was this guy in that he dislocated his shoulder? How on earth does one dislocate a shoulder during sex? That sounds insane. Lol. 2 destroyed marriages. Haven't seen my kids in 2 years. 3 years of crippling depression. You know, the usual. I feel bad upvoting that. It wasn't a haha, great story upvote. It was a shiz. Really sorry to hear that and hope you're okay, friendly punch on the arm kind of upvote. My ex-Chief's friend stopped us in the middle of it to ugly cry for the rest of the night about how she wanted her ex back. Needless to say it stopped pretty quick. I had a threesome with my girlfriend and best friend. She left me for him. They have been married for over 10 years. Ouch, that hurt me. My wife and I had a threesome with a friend of mine that had recently left the military. Everything seemed fine until he told us he was in love with my wife. His brother also happened to be my best friend. We're not as close as we were though, who is super insecure and apparently also had feelings for my wife. Later my military friend was diagnosed with schizophrenia and his delusions were telling him I was the most evil person on the planet. And that aliens were gonna give him superpowers and disintegrate me. That is not an exaggeration. He now gets monthly shots from the VA and he's doing a lot better. This is so funny to me because I have schizophrenia and have thought I was a prophet that would shoot fire and melt people when they attacked me. Good times. Man. Good times. I am pretty learned about the Bible now. Though. I just wanna know what's so great about your wife. Great, this guy is about to fall in love with OP's wife too. Yeah, me too. She's literally driving people crazy.